What's happening, gamers? It's K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405 where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. This video is not going to be, some people will not like what I have to say in this video. Um, but if you're new to the channel, please don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell for whenever I do drop content. Definitely will be uploading GRG probably Saturday or Sunday. But we have the live shows on Mixer. Come and check us out. Appreciate the people that's been coming in and checking out the show and supporting it. Much love. Um, and just my content in general, I really do appreciate it, man. But anyway, not too many people are going to be excited about what I got to say because of this. I got to be real. I'm not. I don't ever hold my tongue, and I will not hold my tongue regardless. Um, I get this sense from some people that it's just never ever good enough for them. It's all about the complaining era. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters except for a reason to complain. And that doesn't matter if you're Xbox fan, PlayStation fan, Nintendo fan, PC fan. As a gamer, when all you want to do is enjoy new content to be presented to you, it's always something or someone that's got to come in and try to ruin it for you. Case in point, just with movies, everything, anything that has to do with entertainment, it's always somebody that has to be negative about something. So, this is the thing that bothers me, right? We're looking at the Xbox 2020 event. I'm watching it. Looking at it. Don't come into these shows. I don't come into EXO. I don't come into um, Inside Xbox. State of Play, the PSX, or the VGAs with any high expectations. You know what I'm saying? Anything other than E3. E3 is the only thing that I have high expectations for because that is the mecca. That's the place that everybody wants to have their stuff seen and known. And so it looks like since there's no E3 this year, it looks like that this summer fest thing that will be happening with Jeff Keighley is going to probably be that show. And then of course what Xbox is going to be showing here in July will be those shows. And then hopefully whatever PlayStation will show, those will be my three shows with high expectations. But when you come and you look at stuff like, I don't know, let's see, like this show, like I said, like you come into this show and then you come in and you have these thought processes of like, oh man, this is going to be the next E3. How many times do we have to hear this every show? Every show that's not E3, every show, we have to hear the same narrative all the time. And it's always some new nitpicking strategy to get people's mind off of what they've seen or what they've heard that would benefit gamers. And then it always, you know what, it never fails because once that catch wildfire, it stays like that until the actual games comes out. And then people completely forget about that whole narrative because the game is there, the game is here, the game was fun, and that was at the end of the day the most important thing, well, the most important factor. But now I'm looking and I'm reading comments and I'm seeing people and I'm having discussions and what I'm hearing is, well, the messaging was wrong. This, we need to and I see people that saying, well, we need to define what's gameplay. What? Well, they said Microsoft said that they were going to show gameplay. Well, hold on, let's go back and look at that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have it right here to show because I just wanted to just pop in and do this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this stuff, right? I'm gonna read. Uh, Basically, they said that they were coming out with an event that was going to have gameplay, trailers, etc. And that was pretty much it. When people said, hey, they was going to show gameplay, then I guess they took it as they were going to have 15, 20 minutes of gameplay after each third party game that they were going to show, which would probably only make it about, what, 45 to you know what I'm saying, about an hour show. So you're probably going to look at about 3 or 4 games. And then you'll have people that will complain about that, I suppose. I, It blows my mind. It really does. And then we have people on one stance that try to be up on this neutral soapbox. Well, don't care about the console war, sublime, blase, right? And then in the next sentence or the next breath, here they come. They're talking about, well, the messaging was wrong. Well, then how in the hell would you even care about what any of these companies messaging is if it's all about being just neutral? Or all about not caring about the console war aspect, because in some cases or form it sounds like to me you want Xbox to be at a higher plateau than what it is right now, and that means to me that you care about the success of Xbox, which kind of puts you in that same spot, or just the same with PlayStation, that same little spot of just with everybody else that wants to see their favorite platform or device be the best. It doesn't matter if it's your Samsung phone, a television, to an OLED, to whatever, right? And it blows my mind that people then try to change up and say, well, it's a different perspective. No, it's not. No, it's not. Sounds pretty silly to me. Another thing about this that makes this all crazy is that one thing that I've been preaching for a really long time is that Xbox fans kind of tend to get in their own way. It seems like that they have to listen to somebody else to get approval to like what they like. Now, again, if there was people that didn't like the show whatsoever, they thought every game was absolutely ass juice, and that these games were ugly, ashy, it didn't have any substance whatsoever, then I totally get you. I got you. Cool. But then again, you see the same people that will come out here and talk about, let's say, for instance, Dirt 5. Talk negative about Dirt 5, say Dirt 5 is trash, uh, where's the gameplay, and then go into other places and locations with other people and talk about how great Dirt looks when it doesn't have Xbox on the name, on front of the name, when it's got another company's name uh, on the trailer. Oh man, I can't wait for this. I wasn't into racers, but now all of a sudden I am. People seem to be easily duped into following into these different type of criterias that really makes no sense. Forget about, and there's people that do this for this is an agenda for them. They rather pick on one little topic or one point and then have everybody forget about everything else that was positive within what was shown. I don't recall Xbox having any games that were like a horror genre that was exclusive this generation, other than maybe Dead Rising 3. And that's really kind of, I don't know. I have the game. I never really played it. So I don't know if it has a more realistic feel, but how I kind of look at those games are kind of goofy. You kind of do stuff, and so I don't know. But I think from what graphically it looked more serious, but I have no idea. I haven't got to play it, so please let me know in the comments. But that's the closest thing that Xbox has gotten this generation. So then when you look at the game called Scorn, and then you look at Medium, two games that's in the horror genre, and Xbox, and they look like to be Xbox Series X exclusives, that should be praised because there's new IPs that aren't Halo, Gears, and Forza, which was one of those narratives. And there you go. I don't know if they're, year exclusive or what, but they seem to be. But all I know is that they're exclusive to the point of where they're going to be on Xbox and first. So, I mean, I guess if people can tout about Final Fantasy, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I guess Xbox fans can tout about that. I don't know if it's, like I said, if it's timed or if it's just an all-out exclusive. But regardless, it's still a good look for Xbox to also have the marketing rights to show off their game, to brag about it, show them they look crazy. Then also the whole thing about smart delivery, which is another positive for the gamers because of you buying the game one time and that game you don't have to purchase it again when you get a Series X. That's a positive. That should be like right there, like the number one thing right there, because that is completely friendly, gamer friendly, or consumer friendly. And then you look at it, and then you see just all the different content. like games like Bright Memory Infinite. You got Ascent. You have the one game out there that looks kind of like Sea of Thieves. I think it was Call of the Sea. Then you also had the spaceship game. You got Medium. You got all these other things that was available right there to you, and they looked good. They looked great. So it's called Valhalla, and yeah, they didn't show like 15 minutes gameplay of somebody holding the controller. I can get that. I can get people being saying like, oh well, that's kind of it. But you know how like everybody else would kind of turn that, would flip that off like, ah man, you know what? But these games, they look good. But like again, like I said, if you were one of those people that think every game looked ashy, didn't look worth the time a day, then hey, you're entitled to your opinion. But you also know that those games are going to be going elsewhere as well, not except for two of them. Xbox also brought in more Japanese games, more Yakuza. There was this one Japanese game, I can't think of the name of it right now, from Namco Bandai. Looks dope, hack and slash. I I'm just in loss for words that the point of emphasis is about gameplay, and then it's supposed to be that the messaging is wrong, and then like that means to me that you had your expectations at a high level when Aaron Greenberg and Ricari themselves came out to Xbox fans yesterday and made the point of saying, look, these games, this show, is not going to be like E3. You can temper your expectations. This is going to be a good show showing games that's going to be running off of the Series X, blah 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 blah. And so now, again, you got the people that's coming out. Oh man, these games, well, 12 T flops, man. I mean, I expect better. Well, I mean, damn, you would hope, you would hope that what you were seeing were games that were pre-made, stuff like that, that was still in their alpha mode. That's gonna take a little while to get made, to get pushed out. If you're that set back and thinking those games don't look good, because if that's the case for what Xbox is over here showing you, then what do you think that the PlayStation is going to show you? It that's I'm like, because these games are also going to be on PlayStation as well. Like I mean, and it might be more ashy because it's you talk about 10.3 teraflops going against 12, and the SSDs can only get you so far, bro. I don't even care to be entertained by some crazy narrative about SSDs, just taking over raw power. Come on, stop it. But see, what other people don't really put into perspective is though I seen it through my television, and I know other people did too if they were having it on their television, on their OLEDs, on their QLEDs, etc. And you've seen the detail within the games. You've seen better detail. You've seen really good lighting effects. You've seen a lot of other things that show you that this is the look of next gen. It's got a good polish and a shine to it, and also that these games are not, they're being shown from another entity, which means that these games are going to look twice as better. I mean, just kind of think of like when you look at Red Dead and everybody was like, wow, Red Dead looked crazy, and then when you got it home and looked at it for yourself, like, damn, that's kind of like what these games are going to do. They're going to hit you, especially with the HDR, all that. And then also another factor that people tend to not want to talk about because they want to talk about the messaging aspect of it, of gameplay, which is the standard is 4K 60 on the Series X. Also, you got a games that this what to say 4K 60 to 4K 120 frames per second. Something that the gamers has been asking for. I've made my stance on it. Like, look, I mean, developers, you know, I feel how they want to make their games do it the best way. Now, if this thing has raw power enough to make these games be 4K 60, by all means, 4K 120, by all means, I'm not going to complain about it. But if you know what I'm saying, but if I want these games to look fantastic. So if these games look fantastic at 30 frames per second, I'm not tripping. But if they could push 4K 60 on these games, if that's the standard, you know what I'm saying, and and some of them could be 120. I mean, those are things that people need to be talking about and need to be thinking about, other than the games that they seen themselves, if they liked them, if they didn't, if they thought they were cool looking, whatever the case. Instead of, well, there wasn't enough gameplay. The messaging is all wrong. There's still more shows to be shown, and then you also got to think about whatever Jeff Keighley's going to be doing with his show. They probably were limited and couldn't show everything that they wanted to. I mean, we look at the VGAs, we look at everything else, and as gamers, and we get hyped by seeing those simple gameplay trailers. And I don't see, and then when they show like the gameplay elements themselves, from different angles or whatever, we say those games look dope, those games look good. Everybody was all hyped when they seen Valhalla, but then now all of a sudden, well, I just wanted to see more. I just wanted to see more. People have been complaining about they wanted to see less of inside Xbox, less of talking to the developers, less of this, less of that. More showing videos, less talk. They show video. Then obviously, if they're going to have somebody sitting there playing the game, then they got to talk more about it, which takes more time because people have been complaining about that they want inside Xbox to be taken. Listen, it's never it's always something. It's never good enough for certain people. And then when you also have other people that wants to drive some kind of crazy narrative, and it seems like other people are waiting for acceptance for a certain group that will never give an Xbox fan acceptance. This is the reality. It doesn't matter if this show was absolutely perfect. If it was a 10 for 10, you would still have people trying to push a different narrative and try to tell you otherwise. Xbox kills it on this other show, which is supposed to be their big show. Well, they got a show coming in June, and then they got the big show coming in July. And uh, if these shows nail it, like do everything that the people have been asking for, what do you expect? You think that these people are still going to say Xbox is changing and turning it around? You're going to still hear the same narrative. So I don't know, man. I definitely want to hear your thoughts about this. Like I said, I know that I probably did not have some people's approval on my thought process on this, but you know me, I don't care. I say what I want to say, and then I just roll with it because I feel I feel strong about this. I feel that, like I said, Xbox fans need to get it out their heads that they have to sound and I mean they have to have somebody else's approval in order for them to feel validated, and it isn't. Now, if you didn't like the show or didn't think that you thought then that's fine. You thought the show was absolutely garbage. Then hey, you know what I'm saying? That's your opinion, and I ain't got no problem with it. But if your only issue was about because you didn't see because people are trying to define what the gameplay aspect of it was, and then you give up and you dock the show heavily behind that and say that it was a fail. Man, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just not a good look, and this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, that some of these people just probably might have to just stop listening to the public like that, which I totally don't agree with. But if that's how everybody has to complain, if everybody complaining about certain elements of this and that, that's fine. You got to, you know what I'm saying? I understand you have to hold people accountable. But Xbox right now is the only one showing any type of content. Xbox is the one that showed their box. They showed they talked about the features. They're showing games. Competition just showed a controller, a logo, and talked about an SSD drive. Come on, man. All right, everybody have a good one. Can't wait to hear your thoughts about this one. Peace.